Definitely a historic day. You know, it wasn't perhaps the vote that they wanted. They wanted 61, which was a clear majority. They didn't get that. There were 3 abstentions, but they do have a majority, and that's enough. So in troops the new coalition, and they're now actually being sworn in. So you see Benjamin Netanyahu for the first time going to the opposition benches. So that's the first time in 12 years. Of course, he has done other stints in the opposition, but it is so significant because he has been so dominant in Israeli politics. And indeed, in his speech tonight, he continued to be dominant. He continued with that extraordinary, charismatic, boastful, strong speech and said in English, we'll be back soon. So he doesn't see or plans or says he doesn't see that his time in opposition will be for long.
Iris, I want to say the hard work begins now, but God knows this was hard work to actually cobble together this majority together. So what's next for this coalition, for this new coalition?
Well, it's a complicated thing, isn't it? Because they will need 61 in order to pass a budget. There hasn't been a budget in Israel for more than 2 years because of this endless cycle of elections that's been going on. So that's one headache awaiting them. Just this week, there are a number of headaches, including one of them is a flag-waving march that has been put off to this week by Benjamin Netanyahu, a hot potato thrown into the lap of this incoming government. That is right-wing and ultranationalist Jews who want to march again through the old city of Jerusalem, past the Muslim quarter. There's a fight about, the route, but that's all going to happen in 2 days' time. So there's a lot for this government, a lot on its plate. And just getting an agreement every time when you have a majority of one and people abstain, you can see how hard it is, how hard it's going to be to rule effectively in this situation.
Iris, as we've talked a lot about how this new coalition is more of a mix and match of political parties spanning a wide range of Israeli political parties. How likely is it that we'll see a significant change in policy, and how likely is it that this coalition will actually go to the end of its 4-year term?
Very few governments in Israel go 4 years. So the question is, will it go to the end of 1 year, really? That's the beginning, the small steps first, baby steps. And it's not clear to me that they will. I mean, they might. They do have a motivating factor in a super aggressive leader of the opposition in Benjamin Netanyahu saying he'll be back. There is an Israeli analyst who said that while ever Benjamin Netanyahu is leader of the opposition, they will manage to continue to rule. There's another motivation for them, despite their disparate views on almost everything. Many of them would not get voted back into the parliament if there were elections today. They might not even pass the electoral threshold. So that's a motivation to stay in government and to make compromises and to get things done. So those 2 things are in their favour. The very first thing they've said they will do is to set up a judicial inquiry into the disaster at Mount Meron when 45 people lost their lives, Israel's largest civilian disaster that happened about 2 months ago now. So things are in the pipeline, but I think passing the budget is vital, and it's a huge challenge for them.
Iris, as we speak